All right, good afternoon. We are featuring our B News Athlete of the Week, Lilly Ascone, a senior track standout from Williamsville East High School at the Section 6 Indoor Track and Field Championships. Lilly won the 600 meters and helped the 4x800 relay team take second in Division I while setting a school record time of 9:59.63. Earlier this season, that relay team also broke a 46-year-old school record. Wow. Lilly later finished fourth in the 600 at the state meet with a season best time of 1:33.2, and she'll continue her running career at none other than Florida State University. That's right. Ascone becomes a Seminole. Absolutely awesome. Lilly, congratulations, and you're our Athlete of the Week here at the B News.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to, be here and talk about this. This is just an amazing opportunity to just share a little bit about me and running.
And listen, folks, that is not a fake background. That is nothing but accolades back there that you could see. Absolutely amazing. Awesome.
All my stuff is I love to say it. My coach handcrafted an incredible shelf for me that hangs all my medals and things like that. And I kind of stick everything on the wall.
That's awesome. All right, so let's kick these questions off for you. Lilly, what do you think sparked such a strong season for you this year, especially winning the 600 meters at the Section 6 championships and placing fourth at that state meet?
Oh gosh, indoor has truly been my favorite season for honestly the last couple of years since I've started. And honestly, every season I try and pick a word about what I want to kind of achieve. And this season I chose fun. I committed towards the end of my cross country season, and it was definitely still a lot of pressure of trying to perform and show coaches I'm running well, all that stuff. So this indoor season, I was committed, and I really just wanted to have some fun, take the pressure off of myself, and just, really just see what I can do. I didn't really have to do it for anyone, just keep doing it for myself. And I mean, honestly, just continuing to show Florida State, they made the right choice in that once I get there, I'll definitely be a contributing member. And honestly, continuing to just be disciplined. I ran, these past 3 years, I've won the 600, and it's also the Section 6 all-time record. So that was definitely something that I wanted to defend and, really just make sure that secured that win. And going into the state meet, I honestly was just, wanted to place as high as I could. And I ended up placing higher than last year, which was super exciting, and continuing to get faster every week is definitely a goal of mine as well.
Listen, some seniors, when they decide to have fun, that's kind of, slacking and not going to classes and skipping everything. You took fun to the next level by just continuing to excel in what you do, and that's amazing. So that being said, do you feel that you've improved significantly from a season ago, particularly in the 600 where you ran your season best at 1:33.2 at States?
I mean, for sure. Each season, you want to continue to get not just, stronger physically, just stronger mentally, and, doing just things I go to yoga, practice, doing reflections pre-race and post-race, and just kind of continuing to learn how to handle pressure better because, the more you keep running, the better you get. You keep getting these incredible opportunities, and you want to seize every moment and not just kind of let it swallow you up. When I was younger, those moments under the big bright lights definitely are scary and they're hard to step into, but you really just have to take it in stride and just feel confident going into races, knowing that you belong and, you've deserved your spot. So you just really got to get out there and just show everyone what you've been working hard for. You don't get up, I don't get up at 6 a.m. every day, do doubles, get up at 6, another workout at 3 after school every day, just to go out there and just trot. You want to go out there and show people this is how hard I'm working and, make it fun for yourself.
That's dedication for sure. And that's just your daily routines. Now, what kind of work did you put in during the off season to make sure that you were ready for a big year like this?
I mean, definitely put in a lot of miles, running. But honestly, for me, during my off seasons, I usually like to spend a lot of time focusing on other things besides just running, because running is pretty much the easy part. My former coach used to say, any idiot can run. It's all the extra stuff that you do that makes you the better athlete once you step out onto that line. And honestly, I spent a lot of time in the gym and lifting. I have amazing strength coaches who help form weekly programs for us and my entire team. And we do some awesome lifts and things like that. And I also do a lot of cross training for cardio. And on top of that, I love to go to yoga, something that's non-running, non-impact, super helps the mind and the body at the same time, and recovery. I'm a huge proponent on recovery. My coach calls it championship sleep. Try and get great sleep every night, just making sure, just as hard as you're working, you want to be recovering just as much. And so you want to make sure you go into that season healthy and ready to get those races.
That is absolute focus right there, and just amazing to hear. Um, Coming into this season, you're obviously training in the off season, but there's got to be a goal in mind. Coming into this season, what was your ultimate personal goal for yourself in events like the 600?
I mean, the goal is always to be a state champion, things like that. Continuing to get better every single week. Running is not a linear sport, but every single week, if you keep chipping away and making sure that every single day you're putting in, or every single race, you're putting in the best effort that you can that day. And, honestly, just being proud of every race effort. This indoor season specifically, I really wanted to be an All-American, and I was able to achieve that at Nike Internationals. I think it was 2 weeks ago, on
Outstanding.
our New York State DMR, which was incredible and super exciting. So, just making sure that you're really, even for me, like the little goals help as well. Like, okay, this weekend I want to run this time, or, things like that, and making sure that they're all reasonable and things that, dream big, but make sure your goals are attainable so you can continue to work your way towards those dreams.
A prestigious brand like that, how does that feel to be a part of all that now?
I mean, it's really cool. I know Florida State is a Nike school, so I'll be able to run in Nike and stuff those past couple years, and being able to run a DMR, like, for Nike, we got like custom, like, New York State jerseys and everything like that. It's really cool. I love, like, just do it. Like, honestly, I think that's an amazing saying for all sports, but I feel like it
Sure.
really comes in for running. Like, you just got to do it. You have to just like take a leap of faith sometimes. Like, if you're in a race and the person in front of you is slowing down, you're like, I don't know, I'm scared to take the lead. Like, just do it. Like, you just have to, in running especially, it's such an individual sport. You just have to commit and take an action. And you know what? I've had times where I'll be like, just go, just pass her. And it's like, it'll work. And then sometimes, you'll get swallowed up in like the last 50, 100. And that's okay. The whole point is that you tried and, give your best effort. And I think that's such a cool, like, part about Nike. And I think that they're super supportive with running, and they've made running more than just like, oh, they're fast. Like, I think they make it cool. Like, I think Nike's done a really good job of like making it like, yeah, cool for kids, and like the bags are fun, and like they do sparklers and things like that. Like when you get introduced, so it's definitely really cool. I absolutely love Nike.
I'm with you. As a child, Nike, I was all about Nike. Still am to this day. I mean, no matter what I wear, it's Nikes. But
Yeah.
I definitely won't turn this into a Nike commercial. Shouts out to them, though. So you're talking about Florida State. That's going to be your new team. But let's talk about your current team. Team goals this season, especially with the 4x800 relay
Yeah.
team having such success and even breaking that 46-year-old school record, which is just outstanding.
Thank
Uh,
you.
what were your team goals going into this season?
I mean, yeah, going into the season, we had talked about maybe like, going after that record, and we were just kind of like, I don't know, we'll see, like, and we decided to run it like for the first time in January, and we ended up missing it by 1 second. I think the record originally was 10:04, and we went 10:05. And like going into the race, we're like, okay, we're either going to be like missing this by like 30 seconds or we're going to get it. So the fact that we only missed it by a second, we were so much more driven to be like, all right, let's hit this hard next week. Same thing. Let's go continue. Let's try it again. And we tried it again the next week, and we ended up beating it by 1 second. So we 2 seconds faster than the previous week. And I think we ended up running a 10:03 for that record. And yeah, and I mean, as we kept going, at sectionals, we had really hoped to try and bring that relay to states, but unfortunately, the race didn't pan out the way we wanted. But even still, we ended up making the record even better, which was super exciting and super fun. But yeah, honestly, like the team, like as a whole, like everyone is super supportive of each other, and my coach believes in building a team culture, not just focusing on one person or like a little small group of people. Everyone really supports each other, and I definitely feel it. Even when I go to like super like big meets or things like that, like my relay was texting me like, oh my gosh, good luck this weekend, like for states and
Sure.
nationals, things like that. So, and we want to represent our school. Williamsville East is definitely super known for some pretty prestigious athletics in the area, so making sure we're representing them is super exciting. And yeah, just being there for each other. I love being able to cheer them on just as much as they love cheering me on. So it's a great culture to be a part of.
Now, that's a memorable moment this season. When you look back in this season and everything you accomplished, the sectional title, the relay records, the state meet finish, what do you think you'll be most proud of?
Oh gosh. I'm probably the most proud of just continuing to grow, as not just like, not just like in times, but growing mentally, and just, continuing to put in consistent work and giving full effort every single day, bright and early in the mornings, after school when, I've had the longest day and had 3 tests and just want to go home, making sure you're real, putting in 100% effort at every time. And, running is not linear. And so it's like, you know, you kind of have to take everything in stride. And this season, I had a lot more of like training, super long training blocks compared to like other seasons. And I didn't end up racing, a big race every single weekend. Just because that's kind of how you run it in college. And my coaches want me to be a little bit more prepared for that. So, making sure that like I knew going into every weekend, like, here's my goal for this race. And if I achieve it, this is great, but we're on to the next. Like continuing to really this season, I was really looking towards the end throughout the whole thing. My last 3 weekends at sectionals, at states, at nationals were huge, things that I wanted to make sure I was peaking, doing well at, and, just kind of working towards continuing to be just a better athlete every day is probably what I'm most proud of. So
Definitely. Now, after the season wraps up, what's next for you as you get ready to continue your cross country and track career at Florida State?
oh gosh, just continuing to get better each and every day. Like you want to just keep getting up, getting faster, getting stronger, making sure that you're like, I'm ready, making sure that I'm ready when it comes time in August to take the next step to compete in college. Kind of like I just mentioned, like I think my coaches have really gotten me ready for that. Like my weeks are really structured. I lift 3 times a week, I lift Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, and I did that consistently for the 4 months that the season was. And I raced a little bit more of a college schedule where I didn't really race a big individual race every week. I'd be on relays or, I'd be in like a 15 or like a small 1K, things like that to, just have a little bit of speed in my legs, but, really pushing towards those end goals. And honestly, I want to be an All-American at the collegiate level. So, making like, even making like a world team to represent my country would be so incredible. And, just keep building on what I've learned this season, little mistakes I've made and, big things that I've done and try and repeating those, or not repeating the mistakes, but repeating the things that were successful indoors and just stay focused, stay hungry, just keep chipping away, honestly.
I do got to ask you this, as far as who influenced you growing up, whether as a professional athlete or even a family member, you can name multiple people. Who are your biggest influences that inspired you to do what you do today?
Okay. I first probably have to say probably my sister. My sister started running and my parents too, of course. My mom ran at University of Buffalo and my dad was a wrestler at University of Buffalo. And
Wow.
I grew up and when I was young, toddler, both of them were running like half marathons. My dad was a triathlete for many years when I was young. So I saw them, my sister and I, my mom's running, pushing us in the stroller. So I was always out. I kind of knew running was going to be like a big thing in my life. And pretty much my sister was my biggest inspiration as I was growing up, because in 5th grade, she started running varsity track in her 7th grade year. And I remember like, I would go to her meets and I was like, I just want to be out there running. Like I'd get so antsy and I'd run up and down like the outside of the fence of the track and just be like, I was longing to just like be out there with her. And, she ran an incredible high school career. She has multiple school records. She now runs at Nova Southeastern University down in Fort Lauderdale, just broke her own school record of her own in the 2,000-meter steeplechase there, which was incredible. So she now has a collegiate record for her school. So she's someone I look up to all the time. She works, probably the only person I know that works as hard as me, if not harder. She's truly such an inspiration to me, and I love talking with her. She's my running buddy when she's home, and she's someone that pushes me, on and off the track, no matter what, keeps me stable on race days. She keeps me like, she's like, you got this. Like you put your training in. Even though she's away in college, I get long paragraph messages like, you train for this, you're ready, and like just advice, and it helps to really calm me during the day. And probably like my favorite runner, she's a little more up and coming now, but Keely Hodgkinson from Great Britain, the 800-meter runner. She truly is like such an incredible athlete. And I love watching her now. She's like had an amazing indoor season this past season, but someone super inspirational that like I would love to be like one day. So those are probably my people.
Lilly Ascone, our senior track standout from Williamsville East High School, the B News Athlete of the Week. Our Athlete of the Week segment is proudly brought to you by School of Rock North Buffalo, where young musicians learn to rock on stage and in life. Find out more about their program for kids and teens at School of Rock North Buffalo. And congratulations again to Lilly Ascone, this week's Athlete of the Week. Best of luck to you at Florida State and in your future.
Thank you so much.
Hey rock stars, ready to unleash your inner musician? At School of Rock North Buffalo, we offer band programs and music lessons for all ages. From our Little Wing classes for 3 to 5-year-olds to adults in every age in between, we offer performance programs for teens and adults can join in too, with lessons tailored just for you. Learn to play guitars, drums, keyboard, vocals, and bass, then take the stage with our student bands and perform live. Don't wait, enroll today and start your rock and roll journey.